Guten Tag, ciao, and hello. Welcome to the round 1 recap of Rebellion of the Rim. This one's going to be a little weird because I did announce the battles in the start video, but just a quick recap of where we are. So we have Megiddo as the first Imperial picked base, and then Moncala as the first Rebellion picked base, and then Rhodia and Sullust, and then Bespin and Smuggler's Run. So that during the strategy phase, obviously not a whole lot went down except for declaring attackers and defenders. So the attackers at the first attack was Geonosis. So Rax Dolast was attacking Geonosis, and Ilian Lorena defended. So Rax had a he has Master Navigator on the flagship Nebulon B, and supporting the Nebulon B is, which without upgrades, by the way, doesn't have any upgrades, is a MC-30 torpedo frigate, and then a CR-90A, and both of those are also naked. Then Dutch Vander and Wedge Antilles are squadrons for that fleet. And then on the other side of the table was my fleet, the ISD-2 with electronic early warning system, EWS, and had Merrick Steel, Whisper, and 2 TIE Phantoms. And this fleet here, the objective chosen was prototype recovery. So second player, myself, as the defender, chooses a squadron between 8 and 20 points to set aside. So I chose a TIE Fighter, and basically this TIE Fighter's crits count as hits. Similar to Darth Vader Squadron or General Grievous Squadron. Moving into the how do you get the prototype on your side? Well, there's an objective token placed in the center of the board. If you're distance 1 of it, you can, when you resolve a squadron command, you can, instead of doing squadrons, it's an instead ability, unfortunately, you can roll a die and get a side. If you get the right side for what player you are, you get the prototype on your side. And then if you have the prototype at the end of the game, it's 30 points, and then I think you get 30 points if you kill the prototype or something like that. So basically, I had one ship that had one chance of really getting it. It only has one chance a turn to get it. It's not really ideal for me because I want to use my squadron commands anyways. So my mindset was, I'm going to go in and deny this thing. That's why I'm picking TIE Fighter. In case he gets it, I can kill it easily. It's only got 3 hull. It's not gonna hurt too bad. We'll have Swarm with those rerolls, but overall it should be fine. So he went in pretty hot with the MC-30, kind of overshot things. He whiffed on the prototype attempt. I was able to dive in on Dutch and almost nuke him off the table in a turn. Unfortunately, my last Phantom whiffed really hard. Well, I cannot wait for Fighter Group Leader ability there to get a reroll for free. And then I was able to clear Wedge off the next turn, easy peasy. And then as my Star Destroyer was kind of acting as aerial denial in the middle spot where that token was. I was almost killed the CR-90A. It was hyperspaced away with 1 hull, so I did get points for it though, at least, but it did not count for veteran purposes. And I was able to kill the flagship with the side arc shot from my Star Destroyer. So I went away unscathed. The prototype never was recovered, and let's see, I veteraned to my Star Destroyer 2, so now I can get 2 free tokens a game. And the upgrade I chose, I actually went for a base objective, or base upgrade, which I chose Sullust's officer slot. So we have a rule where, unequipped upgrades don't count towards fleet point cost. So I chose both Commander Vanto and Emperor Palpatine officers, just to put Palpatine in the vault and equip Vanto onto my flagship there. And then Rax Dolast ended up picking Gold Squadron from Smuggler's Run, so that was their base upgrade as well. So Geonosis was kind of just a territory fight, I guess. And so Prototype Recovery can't be played at Geonosis anymore, so it's under Imperial presence. But the second battle that was fought, it was the third battle declared, was Utapau. And so this was Tom Ulrand, who was a master gunner on a MC-80 command cruiser with Comsnet Gazanti or GR-75 supporting it, as well as a Assault Frigate Mark II-B. Both the big ships there are naked, and defending was Tirius Telania's Master Navigator Simoon with a naked Architon. The Simoon has linked turbo LTT, I can't speak right now, and then a Comsnet Gazanti. So the Architon's naked, but the other two ships aren't. And the objective that was picked was opening salvo, since that is the location objective. It overwrit Tirius's red objective. Which would have been a lot better for Tirius if it hadn't been that, I guess. But overall, Tirius was kind of rusty. It's been a while since he played a game. So he made some big mistakes. Was unable to take anything off the table, but did not lose more than 150 points. So both players walked away with 200 experience. So the Simoon and the Gazanti both went down. The Pickle was able to veteran. So that'll be a little nasty. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for that battle. The command cruiser ended up taking 10 points of turbo laser in the form of enhanced armament. And then the Simoon was equipped with quad battery turrets. So both turbo lasers were selected there. And then the third battle that was fought was at Endor. Endor has pilot defection, and we decided to kind of big brain this. We were going to throw on purpose, and this was because we can add fleet points to the opposing fleet to trigger a understrength bonus through using pilot defection, and that would essentially give our player here 3 experience points for loss, which would let him pick up Ion Technician right off the bat. And then it would let the secondary objective was to not lose big, so to minimize experience gain on the opposing side, and the third objective was to veteran a ship, either the Gladiator or the Interdictor. So Titus Tass, who is a master engineer, has an Interdictor suppression with targeting scramblers, a Gladiator 1 with assault concussion missiles, and a Gazanti with parts resupply, up against Biggest Dickus, who's defending with an MC-75 armored cruiser with point defense ion cannons and the new ion cannons defense slot thing, and then a Comsnet GR-75 with a naked CR-90A. So, and Shara Bay and an A-Wing versus Tel Turbura on the other side. So what Titus did was chose 2 YT-2400s and a Z-95, and the Z-95 could defect to keep the squadrons off of the ships, so that way Titus could secure a kill via or could secure a kill without losing a ship to squadrons, pretty much, right? Well, he ended up actually winning the squadron game. So it was not looking good for our plan of throwing, because he almost actually killed the MC-75. He had it in a really nice spot, stuck on the Interdictor, or so we thought, and he had it, the Gladiator double arcing it into the side arc there, with the targeting scrambler ready to heal the Gladiator back, or help protect the Gladiator there. So, and the Interdictor was not double arced either. It was a nasty spot for that to be in. But a pixel perfect move was able to get the MC-75 out, and it really allowed the plan to go forward normally. So we ended up throwing Tel away. Shara was able to kill the Z-95. So and then hyperspacing out the Gazanti allowed that to kind of balance out with the bonus points from the pilot defection objective itself. Was able to secure a 12-point loss, which was a lot closer than we were expecting, because he was able to kill the GR-75 and with the interdictor and veteran that. So overall, it was 100% mission success, close loss to ensure experience gain, and then the upgrades Titus took were the G7X projector, which will go into the armory, and grab shift reroute, which was obviously a unique objective or upgrade, so it needed the campaign objective to be played. And then ordnance experts for the Gladiator. So really just be able to flush out his fleet. He didn't need anything huge. He just needed a lot of smaller things, kind of get started. So he's at a great start, great spot here, and he's already able to take Ion Tech heading into round 2. Yeah, so those anyway. And what did Biggest Dickus take there at Endor? He took Aiken and Sholin and local fire control, and local fire control is going into the bank for his fleet. So really not a huge win there in my opinion, but overall it is a for them at least they really were confused by why the heck did we just not scatter a shot against Tell? Oh, it's because we wanted Tell to die to get rid of the points. So they were really confused by that until we explained how the understrength bonus worked, and they're like, oh, we forgot about the understrength bonus. I'm like, yep. So really the Z95 did a lot of work actually, with Tell giving it escorting it, and 2 huge whiffs from the YT-2400s really helps that squadron game out in favor of the Empire. So it was really weird having to actually throw it. We were expecting to possibly have to throw by hyperspacing away, which was okay. But not scattering something is when things when they started raising suspicions and alarm bells there. So really overall a big win. I can't speak. The strategic effect tokens that were chosen. So at Megiddo we chose diplomats. Moncala they chose skilled spacers. At Rhodia they chose diplomats, and they didn't have a choice at Smuggler's Run. It was Spynet, and so they had diplomats, skilled spacers, and Spynet, and we had resources from Bespin Sullust, and then a diplomats from Megiddo. So that was round 1 there. Thanks for tuning into the round 1 recap. I know, and there was no gameplay. Was 2 games were in person, and then the 3rd game was on Tabletop Simulator. So we didn't really have I didn't really take pictures or anything. But I'm hoping to get some pictures for next video. I know it's not very entertaining just looking at the same image for a couple minutes on end. So thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for next time, because we're about to get round 2 of Act 1 started up here. So thank you for watching.